I don't think you guys understand how important this is. All artists need gesture, from illustrators to storyboard artists, even those that just do it for the love of the game. We all need to grasp and improve at gesture sketching. There's that energy and emotion that shows itself when you master your gesture game. What up YouTube, it's your boy Double M and I'm coming back at you with another video. We're doing something light in this one. What we're gonna go through is a gesture sketch workout. A few exercises to help us improve in our gesture sketch game. I found a video from a YouTuber called Meandy where this workout comes from. The overall topic of the video is on improving in character design, where he lists the different fundamentals required to strengthen your skills in character design, with gesture being one of those crucial fundamentals. Make sure you watch the video to understand the other crucial fundamentals, but for now we're gonna play around with gesture. Here's what he wants us to do for these sketches: 10 30-second long sketches, 10 1-minute long sketches, 5 2-minute long sketches, and 2 5-minute long sketches. You have the choice to do either one sketch for 5 minutes or 2 sketches for 5 minutes, but we're big steppers, we step on business, we're doing 2 sketches. Something that takes around 30 minutes to an hour in a day and can be done every day to greatly improve our gesture game. Listen, don't count yourself out of this workout if you're not specifically a character designer. I don't think you guys understand how important this is. All artists need gesture, from illustrators to storyboard artists, even those that just do it for the love of the game. We all need to grasp and improve at gesture sketching. There's that energy and emotion that shows itself when you master your gesture game. With all that said, grab your pencil and paper or tablet and let's get cooking, shall we? We are gonna start our first section. 10 sketches, 10 gesture sketches, 30 seconds a piece. We have our first pose here. My guy is hitting the T pose, the Sukuna pose, the Frieza pose. This is a relatively easy pose. I mean, I still want to keep my expectations low, you know, being this is something that I'm used to doing traditionally with a pen and paper, with a pencil and paper, not digitally. So let's keep our expectations fairly low. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's get cooking, shall we? Alright, so boom, simple shapes. I don't even know what I said there. Neck, head, done. Boom, jump to the torso. Simple shapes. Wide face, wide top, narrow base. Boom. The gesture sketch even has me messing up my speech. This is crazy. When I keep to normal shapes, don't. Anatomically, this looks kind of ugly, but we are here trying to capture the flow of the sketch. You feel me? All right, let's jump to the goodness. Let's jump to the arms. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I think I'm spending too much time on the arms. What? I know I said I was gonna keep my expectations low, but let me just continue the pose. This is how the pose looks in the 30 seconds. Let me just continue the pose to sort of like complete it. What has me is, I know this pose is not anatomically correct and we are just trying to capture the flow of the pose, you know. But what has me is the fact that it's not completed in the 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? At least completed like this, ignoring the hands and the feet. At least completed like this. To those that are able to accomplish a pose like this in 30 seconds, the complete pose doesn't have to be anatomically correct for now, just capturing the flow, the complete pose. Respect to you, man. Respect to you. I'm not gonna even waste time on the fingers. I already got humiliated. Look at this arm. Goodness gracious. To the next. So now we have our second pose. I'm thinking to myself, if the first pose was a lot easier than this and that pose was completely butchered with that sketch, what can we expect from this one? Yeah, nah. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's get straight into business, shall we? Alright, so boom. We have the head there. Boom, 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 boom. Straight and simple. We have the neck there. Boom, boom. Let me tell you why this one is a little bit easier to grasp than the last one. Swoop down there. Boom, daru. Simple. Alright, we start with the leg. Boom, 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 boom. Right there. Continue the swoop from the body down into the leg. Mini swoop for the calf. Mini swoop? I don't know. You guys test my English. Alright, down with the legs. Alright, down with the arms. We start with the arms. Even the English is messed up. Goodness gracious. Messed up is this arm. My goodness gracious. Alright. Pose less complete as the previous one, but I'm liking this one better
than the last pose, especially this flow right here. You feel me? You feel me? That's the whole idea of this gesture sketch. Not to prioritize anatomical correctness just yet. Now, we are here to capture the flow, the energy that comes from that pose. You can make your anatomical corrections after the pose is done with that energy. You feel me?
Doing this for the first time, you obviously are going to struggle. Some of the sketches that you come up with are gonna come out looking like doo-doo, straight drrr, but that's okay. Apparently, this first part of the workout is actually meant to be the warm-up to get the doo-doo sketches out of the system, out of the body. Focus on capturing the energy and emotion hidden in the pose. Still try to somewhat keep to proportions, but don't stress if they are not 100% accurate. You might find some one-piece proportions in sketches.
Alright, we have the next set of sketches to tackle. 10 sketches, a minute apiece. Here we have again a relatively easy piece, but let's not yap anymore and see where we actually get with this. A minute on the clock. Let's get straight into business, shall we? Alright, so boom, again, simple shapes. The head there, the neck there. Not that I make it correct, but no one cares right now. Cool. We start with the torso. Wide base, wide top, goodness. Just stop yapping. As we can see here, we have a little bit of the energy that swoops down like this. Alright. And then that energy continues into the leg. Alright. Then continues the other side of the calf. Alright. Straight there, straight behind the leg. Ba-da-ba. Sort of the same thing with the other leg. Yeah, not completely. Okay, cool. There we have the legs. Would you look at that? We're ready to tackle the arms, and the time's not done. Oh, I'm loving this already, man. I'm loving this already. Alright, so that's the first arm. Oh, goodness. Time's finishing. Straight arm. Shoulder. Would you look at that? Time's not done, and we're able to even touch the feet and the hands. That sounds wrong, but you get my level of excitement here. Okay. I'm liking that. Anatomically speaking, yikes. But I'm liking this, See, this is something that I want to point out and observe now. Something that you will see in your gesture sketches, and especially see in the poses that you do these gesture sketches. There's rhythm that is observed in the body that you are sketching, in the pose that you are sketching from. Look at the top of the thigh here. That swoopness. Yes, it's a word. It's in my dictionary. If you don't have my dictionary, I don't know what to say about you. But anyway, look at the top of the thigh here. We have that swoopness that carries that rhythm into the backside of the calf, with the swoopness that comes from the top side of the thigh. The backside of that leg, the backside of the thigh is straight. Same thing carried down here. The backside, the side of the calf that has that swoopness, the other side is straight, so that you can observe that rhythm that comes from that pose. Now that I look at the sketch that I sketched and the actual pose, I actually see it's not exactly 100% in that perspective. There's a slight amount. Let me see if I can point it out now. There's a slight amount of foreshortening. There's a slight amount. Now that I have the sketch, now that I can do the sketch with more time and a bit more relaxed. But there's a slight amount of foreshortening. Yeah, but you can still observe that rhythm. You know what I'm saying? That rhythm. Top of the thigh swoops down to the back of the calf. Back of the thigh straight, top of the calf straight. Is that rhythm that you want to point out in the limbs of the poses that you are sketching, that you're gesturing. Goodness gracious.
You now have a little more time. Sketching those 30-second long sketches forced me to observe and capture as much as I could in that little time. Over time, the more you do this exercise, you'll find that you're able to draw more and more in those little 30 seconds. And imagine how good your normal gesture game will be if you're cranking out good gestures or somewhat good gestures in 30 seconds. Just imagine. Oh, and make sure to use reference that has little or skin-tight clothing. It gets harder to observe and capture the actual pose if you have larger clothing. Someone with more experience under their belt won't really struggle, but those that are new to drawing will struggle. So try to get reference with little or skin tight clothing, or use reference with no clothing. Amen, that works too. We draw, we don't judge. Just don't draw where other people can see what you're sketching. I mean, you don't want to.
All right, so we have the next pose here. A little bit of that foreshortening, a little bit of that perspective, but nothing too crazy, nothing that we are not able to handle. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's get straight into business, shall we? Alright, so boom, goodness. Alright, so boom. We have the head over here. She's looking somewhere in that direction. I don't know. Straight, oh goodness. Straight into the torso. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Keep it there. I'm sticking to the torso and limbs. Torso, waist, and limbs. In case you guys are wondering. Get your mind out of it. Anyway, we come to the swoopness. Energy of the pose, ladies and gentlemen. Energy of the pose. We come back to the anatomy, but for now, let's capture the swoopness that's observed here as well. Somewhere in the chest here. Goodness. Okay, somewhere there. Yes, the sound effects help. Okay, whatever helps, helps. Okay, this is the journey that we're taking to become artists. Some people take crazy amounts of caffeine and coffee to stay awake. I make sound effects. Okay, boom. Do-do-do-do-do. Cool, cool, cool. With the leg that it comes sort of behind there, and boom. Alright. We have time for the arms now. We have this arm here. That forearm right there. The hand will come to it with time. Da-da-da-da-da. As I'm sketching this, I'm noticing that that head is miniature. Goodness gracious. Okay, energy. Focus on the energy of the pose. Alright, pose is done. Now we can make our anatomical corrections. Increase the size of the head just a bit. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We have something there. Let's look at that. So maybe pick that up just a bit. I don't know. Shoot. Da-da-da-da-da. Maybe define the shoulder just a bit. Just a bit more. Okay. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Oh yeah, the feet. Goodness. Amen. Amen. I'm liking what we have on the screen. I'm liking what I have on the screen. Again, capturing the swoopness. That swoopness. Some might say I'm an expert.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Some might say I'm an expert. Next pose.
Like I said before, the good thing about the first exercise is how it forced me to observe and capture as much of the pose I could in that little time, in those little 30 seconds. I now found with more time, I could actually make atomical corrections after I got the energy and emotion of the pose on the page, you know. Actually go back and shrink the arm a little bit. Actually make the leg look the way it's supposed to look, you know what I'm saying?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Double Empire, we are at the last part of this whole workout, this whole exercise. 2 sketches, 5 minutes apiece. We have a lot more time on our hands, but I want to get straight into business. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get to cooking, shall we? Here, I feel a lot more confident diving straight into sketching the torso compared to last time's sketching the head first, because it is much more obvious of the torso shape here. You see, as you can see here, we have this straight line that sort of comes from that pinch. So we still being a gesture sketch, we want to continue that energy down into the leg. I noticed that the way I started this sketch, the whole pose won't fit onto the page. I'm just gonna yeah. There we go. Alright, now we have a little more space. Now we have a little more room to work with. Okay, we can take our time with this one, guys. We can take our time with this one. Before I made it, before I was more adamant on making sure that you get that energy of the pose first, before you even think about making anatomical corrections just yet. But now, me personally, I feel, because I've done this is actually something that I'm more used to. I've done gesture sketches before, and timing myself, even though timing myself, I have timed myself recently. Timing myself is not something that I'm used to. So I am used to, and I am more comfortable with jumping into the gesture while at the same time looking at the reference that I'm working with, making sure things are at least proportionally correct, but also trying to keep to the anatomical correctness, So I'd still say try to keep to the gesture first and then jump into the anatomy. But if you feel comfortable with correcting the anatomy as you capture that sketch, go crazy, man. Do what you do, you know what I'm saying? Once you master, I wouldn't call myself an exact master, not completely, not yet at least, but once you start mastering these things, once you start mastering the rules, you then get to break the rules, you know what I'm saying? I'm even starting to jump into the detail, the anatomical detail. Yeah, that's the word. The anatomical detail of the chest. This is inspiring me to drop this pen now and go and grab some bench press reps in the gym. But anyway, shoot, we're forgetting about the head. Side profile. Hey man, we got a lot more time on the clock still. I'd say the gesture sketch is done. We still have a lot more time left. I'm gonna just stop yapping and continue with the pose.
There are even times where you notice where I sketch the body first or another body part other than the head first, because of how much energy can be observed in that particular body part. There are certain poses where that specific body part is the driver in that pose and the other body parts follow. Over time, as you start to improve in your gesture game, I challenge you guys to start doing this as well. Sketch a pose starting with the torso or the arm or the leg, whatever. Break out of the norm of sketching the head first. I think you guys have also noticed that when I sketch the poses out, I don't actually sketch out the line of action. Something you've probably heard in a lot of gesture sketching videos and tutorials. I'm not that new to gesture sketching. I've got a bit of experience under my belt. Just to toot my horn a bit, just a bit. With that experience comes the ability to jump some steps. Some skills I'd have to sketch out as a beginner, I can easily just have in mind as I capture the sketch. So the line of action is still very important. Sketch it out if you have to. But if you feel confident, go ahead and jump that step, still keeping it in mind. Well, that's it for the gesture workout. Majority of what I have on the screen may look like doo-doo, but I'm still proud of what I came up with. Let me know if you guys want me to find or come up with some exercises for other fundamentals you're trying to improve in. Or you can even let me know if you want to see a video from me where I go over the art fundamentals, breaking them down to understand properly, down in the comments. While you're down there, make sure to drop a like and hit the subscribe button to become part of the Double Empire. Make sure to watch my previous videos if you have not. Tutorials, time lapses, I've got them all. God bless, and until next time, Double M out.